Searcy Lions. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the introduction of tonight's starting lineups. First for the visitors, the Batesville Pioneers. At forward, a 6-foot junior, number 24, Carson Hillis. At forward, a 6-foot senior, number 12, Rylan Wyckoff. At guard, a 6'1" junior, number 11, Ransom Dunlap. At forward, a 6'2" senior, number 0, Kaylin Johnson. And at guard, a 6-foot senior, number 3, Talon 4E. The head coach of the Pioneers is Isaac Middlebrooks, assisted by Seth Mills. And now, Lion fans, on your feet. It's time to meet the starting lineup for your Searcy Lions. At guard, a 6'5" sophomore, number 1, Maddox Ball. At guard, a 6'1" junior, number 3, Jalen Clifton. At guard, a 6'1" senior, number 12, Trent Hart. At guard, a 6'4" junior, number 40, Aiden Whittington. And the man in the middle, at 6'8" junior, number 21, Wade King. The head coach of your Lions is Wayne Herron, assisted by Jeremiah Waddlebaugh.
Good evening, folks, and welcome back to Lion TV here in Lion Arena. Bringing you tonight's coverage, 5A East matchup once again. Your Searcy Lions going up against the Batesville Pioneers. I'm Jordan Jones, Samuel Stubbs, back here together to take on the second match. We're 1-0 on the night, looking to go 2-0 on the night. Searcy coming in 7-10, 0-5 in conference. These boys have something to prove, and tonight's the game they need to do it. Batesville 9-9, 0-3 in conference. Samuel, it's going to be a good game.
Has that big game feel, Jordan. Batesville, hey, props to them. Students came out, they're wearing suits and ties, they're all dressed up for the evening. Searcy student section, really strong showing as well. It's going to be a really fun evening of basketball here. Searcy
coming in with King, you have Ball, you have Clifton, Whittington, you have Trent Hart starting for Batesville. You have Hills, Wyckoff, Dunlap, Johnson, and 4E. And Searcy with the ball to get the game started. Maddox Ball, quick, easy 2 points. Maddox Ball to get the game started.
Right off the bat, Searcy attacking the basket. Great awareness by Maddox that time, realizing Batesville hadn't gotten into their half-court defense yet, taking advantage.
So 4E, kick it out to the corner for 3, finds it. That's Dunlap for the Pioneers.
Going to be a back-and-forth affair all night. Right off the bat, proving that.
So King up top, you have Ball down below. You're going to see a height advantage for Searcy. Maddox Ball once again, 4 straight for Ball.
Good to see Maddox getting into that jump shot early. If he starts knocking that down like Patterson for Batesville on the girls' game we just watched, that could be a problem for Batesville.
So Dunlap, something you don't see in high school, especially high school sports. You see Batesville with their last names on the back of the jerseys. 2-pointer not going to go. That was 4E who put up the shot. King with the rebound.
Which more visiting teams to do that, Jordan? Help us out a little bit in identifying guys that we don't see play every night.
Oh, yeah. So Ball down below again. Kicks it out. Stolen away by the Pioneers. I think Hart might have got a tip on it a little bit. So rebounded by Whittington.
It's going to be a fast-paced, physical game. Going to have to take your lumps in this game. Both teams are.
Offensive foul. Sorry, he stepped out of bounds when he had the ball. I believe whenever Maddox had it down below. So here's 4E, seems to be the guard for these Pioneers, bringing the ball up top. Dunlap on his right. You have Johnson on the left. Kicking it down below, not going to find anything. Kick it back up top. Driving on the inside. Not going to go on the attempt. It was 4E. Once again, Hart bringing the ball up court for the Lions.
Interesting to see they had Hillis with Quaid down low on offense. That's a weird set for the Pioneers to run. Big height advantage for Quaid there. But
so Quaid's shot won't go. Him and Ball try to go up for the offensive board. I believe both of them combined caused the ball to go out of bounds in favor of Batesville. So turnover with Searcy. Batesville basketball. So 4E tried driving in once again strong. He split the zone defense. 3-2 zone. You're usually not supposed to split in the middle. That's the whole point of the zone, to protect it. We're going to say hit off of his foot, so it's going to stay here for Searcy.
Both teams look pretty good on their first few offensive sets, but now it's gotten a little sloppy. A couple turnovers, missed layups.
Game stoppage. They're going to do something with the shot clock. We set it to 27 seconds instead of that full 35. So here's Clifton to inbound the basketball for Searcy. He's going to kick it out to Trent Hart. Johnson got a hand on it. He got the steal. So Hart went up for the block. As 4E went up with the attempt.
Something I'm noticing, Jordan, we saw Batesville miss a few layups and warm-ups, and you might think, well, what's the big deal? It's warm-ups, you might miss a layup or two here. By my count, they've already missed a couple. They missed the follow there, wouldn't have counted anyway, but they're missing some layups, missing some shots at the rim. That's been something that's plagued Searcy sometimes this year. But, you know, you get bailed out sometimes like that, and Searcy would be fine with that if Batesville just kept missing bunnies around the rim.
So if you're Searcy, the game plan, I think, is simple. You have too many tall players on this court. The height advantage is really showing now on this basketball floor. You got to get it in the paint early. Don't focus too much on those three-point shots. Those can come later. But right now, if you have this much height advantage, you got to be able to get the ball on the inside.
Made the opposite of what we saw in the girls' game, Jordan. Batesville was the team asserting their dominance in the paint on the inside. Searcy was the team making threes. Now, you know, different teams, obviously, but maybe those identities switch, and Searcy's the one trying to get the ball inside, and Batesville's the one trying to knock down shots from the outside.
So Whittington's layup won't go. Had a little rough contact there, but he had a clean layup, just couldn't get it to finish. So 4E splitting defenders once again. Are they going to say stepped out of bounds? They will.
Stepped out of bounds, fell right into the cheerleaders.
That was Dunlap on the attempt. Tried to save it. Batesville leads 5-4, 5:06 remaining here in the first.
You know, kind of settled down and gotten a little bit sloppy after both teams came out hot on the first offensive possession. Team settling in on the defensive end of the basketball floor.
Whittington for three in the corner. Aiden Whittington on that right side.
You might not think of Aiden Whittington as a three-point shooter. He's listed on as a forward on the roster, but he can knock down some shots when you give him open looks.
Here comes the zone once again. 4E with the mid-range won't go. That was a nice screen there from Johnson on the free throw line. Clifton comes down with the board, and now he's bringing the ball up court. Kick it over to Trent Hart. Whittington in the middle, King on that right corner. Trent Hart up top for three. Trent Hart finds it.
Trent has that really high jump. Has that really tall release, that high release. Makes it really hard for Batesville to contest shots. He can knock some down too. It's 10-5, just like in the girls' game. Jordan Searcy coming out hot from the outside.
So 4E with the basketball. Dunlap over on his left. The right corner you have Hills. Johnson up nice and strong. Those monsters down below, and Maddox Ball and Quade King, it's going to be hard to get anything down below.
That's key for Batesville, though. When they do get those opportunities down low, they got to finish at the rim. They didn't early, they did that time.
Coming down with the board that time, 4E got it. King tried to come in and save it. Three ball, finds it that time. That was Hills in the corner. Finds the three, had an attempt earlier, didn't quite go his way. That time he gets it. Tie ball game, 3:20 to go in the first.
Well, if you blink, Searcy's 5-point lead went away in the time span it took you to blink. This is going to be a back-and-forth game all night. These teams might break away at certain points, but this is not going to be a game that's decided by, in my opinion, more than 5 or 10 points.
So Hart's three won't go that time. And Searcy, you got to put some pressure in the paint. All these tall players, just have your hands straight up in the air. You're going to see the backboard. You're that tall. So under 3 to go in the first. And now here's Dunlap with the basketball. Hills rolling on the left side. 4E has it. Kick it down below to Wyckoff. Up top, Hills all alone. Had a three earlier. Doesn't find it that time. Rebounded by Whittington.
Wyckoff that time was trying to block off Quaid, and Quaid just wasn't going to have any of that, trying to steal him off to make for an easier layup for the Pioneers that time, but Searcy wouldn't let him do it.
Stolen away, bad pass from Trent Hart. Here's 4E. He'll take the floater.
7-0 run now for Batesville.
Clifton, spot up three. Won't find it. Clifton just checking to see if he has it. Coach Heron wasn't happy about that one. Under 2 to go in the first. Batesville leading by 2.
It's maybe a shot you want to take if he's knocked down a couple early, but when you're held off the scoreboard early, maybe not a shot you want to take early in the shot clock in a game like this.
Jeremiah Goodman, Lawson Wimberly set to check in for these Lions. Here's Dunlap on the outside.
Interesting, they have Wimberly coming off the bench now. He was a starter these first two games this season. Now Coach Heron has him coming off the bench.
So here's Clifton now for Searcy. Tries to fight it on the inside. Here's Whittington. They're going to call a jump ball. It's going to go in Batesville's favor. So now for Batesville, you have Thomas checking in along with Ross. Ross, kick it over to 4E. 4E fakes the 3. Kick it over to Dunlap. Dunlap for 3. Won't go. Ball had a hand on it, but Wimberly recovered. That middle's going to be open all game long if they're just going to collapse on Clifton that early. Ball won't find it. Rebounded by Johnson. Johnson, the man in the middle tonight for these Pioneers. He's been nice and strong throughout this first quarter.
Coach Heron was not happy with that shot selection. Either you get it to Davis in the paint, kick it right back out, and you take a long 3. Davis might have the opportunity to go inside and get a layup for himself.
Johnson's layup won't go. King with the rebound.
Goodman, sorry, not Davis. Goodman.
Goodman with the basketball, driving on the inside, kick it over to Wimberly over in the corner. Wants to get it to Quaid, he will. Give it back to Wimberly. Almost walked. Quaid had to get it out before he was going to be out of bounds. Under 20, give it on the inside. Maddox ball. Really excellent ball movement there.
6 quick points for Maddox. Marion getting ready to check in the game too, so Coach Heron bringing 2 guards in Wimberly and Hunt off the bench.
Wimberly guarding 4E. 4E. Spots up, mid-range. He's going to be fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot 2.
You see a lot in college basketball in the NBA now. A guard tries to get in the lane a little bit to take a jumper, kind of stops. It's like when somebody tries to brake check you for an insurance scam, right? You just run into him on accident, just out of nowhere, and he's going to the foul line.
4E will find the first. Hunt's going to check into the game. See who's going to take. He's going to take out, I believe, Maddox. Ball's going to get a break. Ball with most of the points for Searcy this quarter. So 4E extends the lead to 1, looking to extend it to 2, and he will. Finds both free throws. Clifton just has to throw one up. That looked close from my angle, but that's going to do it after the first. Batesville leads 14-12. And I don't think, it's not necessarily a bad quarter, but I think it's a bad quarter for Coach Heron. You have a game plan with all these tall players, you're just not executing really well.
It was a really fun quarter to watch. Again, high-level basketball, just like the girls' game, but I think Searcy had some missed opportunities. Not necessarily they had easy shots, but it was because they wouldn't even attempt those easy shots. They weren't trying to get the ball inside, and it's not as easy as we make it sound, of course. You know, even when you have a height advantage, Batesville's a really physical team, a tough team that's going to make you earn those layups. But instead of taking so many threes when they're just not falling like you want them to, maybe you do trying to go inside. You know, try some pick and rolls. That last basket down to Maddox was a perfect pass. That's what Searcy needs to do more of. That's what they thrive off of.
Talon 4E along with Kalen Johnson for these Batesville Pioneers. So far, that first quarter, Johnson with those rebounds, you're going to give it to 4E to make those tough shots. Dunlap with a 3 here and there. It's very good for Batesville. A very strong quarter competing against this Searcy team. So let's see what Coach Heron's going to change up as we come into the second quarter. You're going to come in with Wimberly, Goodman, King, Clifton, and Hunt. Nice to see Marion Hunt out on the floor early. So you have Thomas in the game along with Ross. You have Dunlap, 4E, and Johnson in the game. Clifton was looking for the alley to King. King was hit in the air.
It's like when you're trying to throw a slant route and you just kind of throw the ball over the receiver's head.
Not sure who the foul was charged to. It's going to be on the floor. Searcy will take the ball out of bounds. Goodman is almost open to take a shot there. Goodman, give it to Hunt. Hunt for three. Won't go. Hit off of the shot clock. Struggling for the rebound now. Give it to King in the middle. Kick it out to Wimberly. Wimberly with the step. Driving on the inside. Lawson Wimberly. They're going to call a travel.
Tried to hop step that time. Maybe just took a little too much of a step.
Jalen Clifton really wanted the ball there over there on that left side. Clifton, you can tell he wants to get hot. If Clifton gets hot, that's probably the key for the Searcy team.
Like Chip, held scoreless in the first quarter.
Blocked by King along with Goodman on the inside. Try to drive in there. You just can't do that here against Searcy. 4E. Kick it out in the corner. Three-point shot won't go for Thomas. Rebounded by Clifton.
See if Jalen can't get a screen, some kind of set to get him an open look.
They're going to call Goodman with the travel because he hopped.
And looked at the referee and nodded.
Since he caught the ball, he was already a little bit in motion. I understand about getting your feet set. But they're going to come crash you again as fast as they can. They're trying to trap you, force you to make a bad pass. Thomas, kick it over. There's Dunlap. Inside is Johnson. 4E over in the right corner. You have Wyckoff down below on that left side as well, close to Quade King. So Thomas, spin around, not going to find it. One at the fadeaway. Where's Clifton? Searcy trailing by 2. About 6:20 to go here in the half. Hit out of bounds, going to stay here for Searcy. 28 seconds going to be on the shot clock. Clifton for three off of the pass from Quade, not going to find it. Goodman tried to hit it off of Thomas's foot. Just missed him.
Right now, Jalen just, even when he does get, a slightly open look, I'm not going to let him get many open looks, but not able to knock him down so far.
So Hunt's going to be guarding Dunlap. Thomas in the corner. You have Johnson up top. Thomas turn around on the inside. Wyckoff. We're going to call it travel.
That was great defense by Quade King, staying up, not falling. I guess it's, when you're a foot taller or something looks like that, when the guy you're guarding, maybe it's a little easier to not fall for that shot fake inside. But a great job by Quade staying straight up, making sure if he was going to go anywhere, he was just going to fall right down and not get a foul called on him.
Student section's battling back and forth. I think we outnumber them a little bit, but high energy tonight's been like this all night. Saw it electric in the girls' game, really close game. They were able to pull off that win. And right now, the boys, they're 0-5 in conference. If there's a red button, I'm sure Coach Heron is rapidly pushing that button because Searcy has to win out, in my opinion, to even have a chance to try to make the state tournament in that 4th seed spot. So you gotta, with this team, you gotta be able to execute beautifully on offense and defense. Seems to be struggling a little bit early, but you have a game plan. You are staying in the game, but you're supposed to be ahead of this game by a lot. Just nothing else you can really say about it with all the hype that's on this team. But credit to Batesville, they're playing their hearts out early.
You mentioned it, Jordan. You might have to win out to get to the state tournament, but you got to have a mindset of one game at a time. You can't win 10 games in a row unless you win 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then 4, and so on. You got to have that one game at a time, 1 second at a time mindset. Unless they're going to get this season back to where he wanted. It's not where we want it to be right now, but it can change.
Johnson challenging Clifton, won't find it. Clifton with the rebound. So here's Marion Hunt up top. Give it to Wimberly in the corner. Quade, he'll spot up for the mid-range. Finds it, Quade King. If he didn't take that dribble, I would love to have seen him win on the inside there. Tie ball game, 5 minutes to go here in the first half.
Quade's first points, and they don't come on a shot inside or a slam dunk, come on a mid-range jumper.
Dunlap guarded by Hunt. They're going to get a foul on Hunt on the floor. It's a little too much pressure for Marion. Great defense, though, nonetheless. Hunt has his first. So Ball's going to check in. Ball will check in for Hunt. Spot up three, Thomas goes in. So now Batesville leads by 3. 4:45 to go here in the half.
Searcy needs to get more of a rhythm in their half-court offense. Right now it seems even possession where they've been able to knock down shots. It's been a little herky-jerky, a little out of rhythm, out of sync.
So Wyckoff will take a break as Hills will check back in. King dribbles, won't find it. Rebounded by Thomas.
Watching Coach Aaron's reaction there. It's not the shot they want. Searcy, they can't even get good motion going on offense right now. Jalen and Maddox tried to run at the same corner. And just out of sync offensively.
4E shot won't go. Aaron sees a man on the floor. He's telling the team to go. Clifton, mid-range. Wanted some contact, won't get it. Sloppy basketball being played now by both teams. Here's 4E. Kick it over to Thomas. Johnson gave it to him. 4E back up top. Rolling around now. You have Dunlap, corner. Hills driving on the inside. Nice pass down below. Johnson makes a move, tries to go for the rebound. King's going to pick up a rebound. That is the right call. So King will pick up his first.
Quaid didn't like it, trying to tell the referee he got all ball. Seems like Coach Aaron telling Quaid maybe stay down, stay on the floor. You're guarding a guy that's, you definitely have some height on. Don't let him fool you with the ball fake when really you can just block any shot he puts up.
Batesville extends it to 4. Johnson's at the line. Kalen Johnson playing an excellent game, finds both free throws. So here we go. You have Clifton to bring the ball up court for these Lions. Goodman over on the left side. Goodman had a turnover earlier, probably a little hesitant to make a pass. King, spot up 3. Quaid King finds it.
Quaid not able to do much on the inside so far, but he's found his jump shot. Same with Maddox.
So 4E, kick it out to Dunlap. Here's Thomas, makes a move on the inside, kicks it out to Hills, Dunlap, and now back to 4E. 4E, kick it out. Ooh, Ball almost stole it there. Here's Hills on the inside, give it to Johnson. Ball's loose, recovered by Ball. Nice defensive sequence there from Searcy. Here's Goodman. Give it to Maddox Ball. Maddox Ball will take a jumper. Won't go. Foul on the floor. King was hit. We're going to charge that to Dunlap. Dunlap with his first. So Ross will check into the game for these Pioneers. You're going to see Johnson get a break. Might be what you need for these Lions. Johnson playing amazing on both sides of the floor. King will take the alley. He'll get the layup.
That's what I've been wanting to see, a more aggressive inbound set. Want to get a screen for somebody, or just lob it into Quaid King, who has more height than anybody on the court. Let him try to get a shot inside.
King got a hand on it. Dunlap recovered. Shot won't go that time. See Searcy basketball hit off of Ross.
That's what Quaid needs to do on defense. Just stay down. You can block any shot you want. Only got to really jump when a guy goes in there and tries to jump over you. No reason to get up and bite on ball fakes when you have so much height.
So here's Clifton, tie ball game, about 2:30 to go here in the half. Here's Goodman, all alone. He'll take the layup, reverse layup, Jeremiah Goodman.
Great play, just like the one we saw to Maddox earlier. Before Batesville even knew what hit him, that ball was through the basket.
So here's Thomas with the pass from Ross. Ross will go over to the left corner. Thomas will stay up top. 4E's called a call for it. Fakes the shot, driving on the inside, 4E. Quaid King once again. Maybe 4 blocks so far for Quaid King. Give it to Wimberly. Wimberly, give it to King. King, give it to Goodman. Goodman, power dribbles on the inside. Goodman to King to Ball for 2.
Ball movement 101. Move it around, get the defense confused, get a little frantic. Where's the ball? Where's the ball? We can't see it, we can't stop it. Get it inside for an easy bucket.
timeout Batesville. Searcy leads 23-19. Going on the little run there at the end. Nice sequence there from Searcy.
A little 6-0 run. Couldn't hear what the student section was chanting. I was leaning to hear, and they stopped.
So heading into the timeout, starting to find it a little bit. You're finding your passes on the inside. Quade King's going to be that man in the middle. He's going to be the man that revolves the whole play. If you get it to Quade, that's when the play actually starts. You're going to see movement all around King. He can find a man in the corner, maybe a screen and cut on the inside, or he can just turn around and just float the ball up like he did a couple moments ago. So King, I think this game's going to be on Quade King. A lot of everything that happens for this Searcy team is going to be on Quade King.
Exactly. Searcy, it's like they woke up and they found out, oh, hey, we got the tallest guy on the floor. We got so much height out here. They're using it, doing a great job here in this second quarter, making sure they use that height advantage to their advantage.
So here's 4E along with Ross to bring the ball up court for Batesville. Johnson back in the game. Give it to the corner. 4E driving inside. Kick it out to Thomas. Thomas for three. Won't go. Rebounded by King.
Both these teams doing a really good job of moving the basketball around. Only difference is Searcy's getting easier shots. Batesville's settling for threes.
So they're going to call Goodman with another travel. That's his second. It's all about just getting his feet set. He's just a little too hesitant before he gets the ball to try to make a little movement, and that's why they're calling the travels. If you just don't do that, you're fine. Just simple mistake, a mental mistake if you're Goodman. Wyckoff with the basketball. Give it to Dunlap, who's going to kick it out right to 4E. 4E gives it back to Dunlap. Wyckoff's going to travel down below, make it room for 4E. Kicks it out to Johnson. Johnson to Dunlap. Dunlap to 4E out of the corner. Fakes the three. We're going the inside. Johnson over on the right. Stolen away, but recovered by Batesville. Thomas, 5 to go. Stolen away by Ball.
Searcy did a really good job there anticipating every move Batesville made. When you play a team like Batesville that can move the ball so well, that's critical that you know where they're going before they even know where they're going.
Clifton wanted to kick it down below to Ball, just too hard of a pass there. It was a really good look. So we're under a minute to play here in the first half. Searcy leads 23 to Batesville's 19, 4-point lead. Good if you're Searcy, not good enough right now if you want to try to shut these boys out early.
Coach Aaron giving thumbs up to Jalen and Maddox there, saying, hey, that's the right concept, the right play. Just got to execute next time.
So here's 4E guarded by Wimberly. 4E driving on the inside, lost the basketball. Are they going to call a foul?
I think they called it because Lawson kind of dove on top rather than coming in maybe from the side to grab the ball. Maybe they see a more aggressive attempt like that to get on a ball.
It is a controversial call, but I do believe you're right, Samuel. Diving, just going over the man, trying to get the jump ball. Really nice effort if you're Lawson, but it's just a foul. There's not much you can do about it.
And I think even if maybe you do get the ball and you don't even hit him, it looks that way from the referee's perspective when you're just diving over somebody like that.
So Marian's going to take the hit from 4E. 4E picks up his first. Across your screen, you see Jordan Hardy for the senior cheerleaders bringing in that trophy that they won in Dallas to become national champions after second place last year. King down below on 1 foot, gets it out to Clifton. Clifton, give it on the inside to Ball. Flops, doesn't matter. Maddox Ball for 2 more.
Maddox Ball with 10 points. He's in double figures.
So here's 4E with the basketball. Under 5, makes a move. Dunlap has to throw something up. Won't go. And that's going to do it for the first half. Searcy leads 25-19. Started off as a struggle, but Searcy finding their momentum in the end. Towards the end there, once again, 25-19 if you're Searcy. Quade King's been the story so far for these Lions. We're going to get an interview here in a moment with Coach Herron to have his thoughts about the first half. If I'm coach, I don't know if I'm happy or mad, but I know for sure we can do better on both sides of the floor. But like I said earlier, at the end, Searcy's adjusted to it. All right, let's go ahead and send it over to Samuel Stubbs with Coach Herron for us. Go ahead, Samuel.
Coach, a really physical game in that first half. Looked like y'all took advantage of that height advantage that you do have. Was that something that you looked at this week, trying to take advantage of the height that y'all have?
Yeah, absolutely. We have an advantage in the paint, and we're trying to get the ball in the paint as much as possible. Try not to fall in love with that three-point shot. Get the ball in the paint, especially when we go through those scoring droughts. I think we got an advantage there. I think we've got to keep exploiting it.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck. Jordan.
Thank you, Samuel. It's going to be an exciting second half as you see your national champion cheerleaders on your screen. We'll see you back after the break. You're watching Searcy Lion basketball here on Lion TV.
Championship. NCAA High School Nationals is a prestigious cheerleading competition organized by the National Cheerleaders Association. This event brings together high school cheerleading teams from across the country to compete in various categories, showcasing their skills in stunts, tumbling, and dance routines. Teams are judged on their performance, technique, creativity, and overall execution. It's a major event in the cheerleading community, offering teams the chance to earn national titles and recognition. The 2025 event was held at K. Bailey Hutchison Convention Center, located in Dallas, Texas, from January 24th through the 26th. The Searcy varsity cheerleaders qualified for the event by winning the November NCAA Regional Virtual event and by earning a qualifying score at the AAA 2024 State Cheerleading Championship. The team competed in the Game Day Co-Ed Large Division and received their highest scores of the season, winning the national championship title. They also were awarded the Technical Excellence Award by the judges. You may now draw your attention to the south side of the arena where the NCAA National Champion banner hangs and will hang for years to come in recognition of this team. At this time, when your name is called, please step forward and be recognized. Take a look at this overview video of our national champions before we recognize each student athlete.
Gold medal winners with a score of 97.7833, Searcy High School.
Kennedy Beal, Bentley Brown, Maddie Clennon, Livy Cook, Layla Duggar, Anna Ford, Abby Fortner, Inslee Graham, Jordan Hardy, Josie Hunt, Sophia Jenkins, Emma Killow, Ruthie Langley, Aubrey Law, Mattingly McCammon, Carly Miles, Eden Miller, Madison Mobley, Malia Morris, Ava New, Laura Grace Oxner, Cha Perry, Elle Ponson, Bailey Price, Riley Pruitt, Stella Pryor, Traylyn Robinson, Burke Shirley, Emerson Shirley, Lily Smith, Amesley Sutton, Catherine Tafola, Macy Thompson, Caitlin Walker, Axton Whitlow, and your coaches, Tricia White, Shannon Holyfield, and Meredith Law. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2025 NCAA National Championship Varsity Cheerleading Squad.
Welcome back to Lion Arena. As here on Lion TV, we're streaming your 5A East contest between the Searcy Lions going up against the Batesville Pioneers. I'm Jordan Jones. Samuel Stubbs joining me beside me. Saw a beautiful halftime presentation of your NCAA 2025 National Cheerleading Squad. What a better way to start the second half with your Searcy Lions coming in, leading 25-19. Samuel, a better way to close out the night is just to go home 2-0.
Exactly, go home 2-0 with that cheerleading national championship trophy in the trophy case as well.
So on the inside is Whittington. Johnson nice and strong. Johnson's going to get the half started with 2 points. 25-21, Searcy still leads. You have King, you have Clifton, you have Trent Hart, Aiden Whittington, and Maddox Ball to start the second half for these Lions. So here's ball. Going to kick it out to Whittington. Whittington wide open, not going to have the 3-shot. Johnson with the rebound. Hart tried to save it.
Just like in the first half, Wimberly and Hunt are both going to come off the bench as guards. They started a lot earlier in the season. Coach Aaron opting to bring them off the bench tonight.
Haven't seen Braden Davis in the game yet either. He's a really good defensive player for these Lions. 3-point shot, not going to go. It's 4E with the attempts for the Pioneers. So Dunlap going to be guarding Clifton. Kick it over to Quade King. King, he'll take the mid-range one, find it. We'll call that a pass. Count the basket. Aiden Whittington will go to the line for a 3-point play.
Earned 3 the old-fashioned way, knocked down a 3 in the first half.
Whittington won't find the free throw, rebounded by Thomas.
Thanks for the pass, Jalen.
So Jalen Clifton tried to save the ball, was heading out of bounds. Just looking for a leap of faith and tried to save it.
Good effort. That time I thought maybe Trenton or somebody would be able to fly down the court to get it, but took too harsh of an angle.
If he just had the foot in bounds, would have been nice for this Searcy turnover. On the inside, Thomas blocked by Quade King. What a block.
Talk about an energy play. Batesville looking for a poster, looking to get their student section energized. Instead, I did the opposite. Don't drive on Quade King. That'll be the end result every time.
So Trent Hart recovers the basketball. King on the inside, or sorry, that was Ball. Ball's going to commit a cheap foul as Johnson would have been in transition. So Ball will pick up his first.
Coach Aaron burying his head in his hands there. Frustration foul after you get blocked. You're not happy about it. Trying to get back, just slap. I heard that slap all the way over here. I'm in the foul 80 feet from the basket.
Forey with the basketball, guarded by Trent Hart. Dunlap kicking it over to Johnson on the inside. King got a hand on it, and Ball had the rest. 27-21. Searcy still leads. 5:50 remaining here in the third quarter. Maddox ball did walk. Trent Hart would have been open there on the inside, could have drove in. Mental mistakes been killing Searcy tonight. You have Jeremiah Goodman with the 2 travels. You have Maddox ball there. It's not like him to travel.
Team's committing some sloppy turnovers here to start the second half. Haven't quite gotten their legs back under them after halftime.
So on the inside now, going to kick it back out. Ooh, Trent Hart got a hand on it, a late foul. Hart picks up his second. It's 2 quick fouls to get the second half started for Searcy. So 4E with the basketball, guarded by Hart once again. Johnson driving around the right side. Looking for the Dunlap on the cut, won't find it. Here's 4E up top. Will they call him with a carry? They're going to call him with the foul. They're going to call it on Johnson.
Both teams only able to get a bucket each here in this second half so far. Just sloppy, out of rhythm, out of sync.
And because of that, Batesville is going to call a timeout. Both teams struggling to get some shots up on the board. So to get the half started, 27-21, 5:27 remaining here in this third quarter. Batesville's going to call a timeout. See Mia Baker, Chip Johnson on the screen. Chip, an excellent player for that girls game to help pick up that win. Have quite a showing tonight from the parents, fans, student sections, cheer squads. The band's here tonight, pep band. That's definitely going to get the energy rolling, if nothing else will.
Hope for entertainment's sake, y'all can hear these 2 student sections sparring. We are not responsible for anything that they might say, but they've been jarring back and forth with each other all through warm-ups all night. That's fun to see. Fun part of high school athletics. Got 2 rival schools going at it tonight.
Yeah, they've definitely been going at it. They have whiteboards. They're talking back and forth to each other.
And props to the Batesville fans, though, for coming out. Not the easiest or shortest drive in the world.
Whittington was wide open in the corner. He's going to poke it back out for Wimberly. That was nice from Whittington. Maddox ball hesitates on the 3. Give it to King. King. Clifton. They're face guarding Clifton so he doesn't get the ball. 4E puts up a shot. Won't go his way. Johnson crashed into the bench trying to save the basketball. He will. He gets back on the floor immediately. Here's Hills. 3-point shot. Won't go. Rebounded by Wyckoff. 4E back out top. Hills driving on the inside once again. They're going to call him for a travel.
I think we saw that time the impact of having a guy like Quade King when he can get back on defense like that. Force 4E, instead of going for a layup that in all likelihood would have been blocked, trying to draw a foul, he had to go up and under. Had to take a tougher layup. It was no good. He goes into the seats, and it ends up with 0 points on that possession for Batesville. So that's the impact of having Quade King be able to get back in transition like that. Psychs out the offensive play.
Ball for the mid-range, won't go. It was a nice move on the inside. Batesville's going to let the ball just go. Clifton finally got a hand on it, just couldn't do nothing with it yet. Clifton has yet to get into this game and be a major impact. Once Clifton usually gets hot from anywhere on this floor, he's dangerous. But now they're going to face guard him even though he's not hot at all.
It's still scoreless. That shows how dangerous he is, though. Coach here in that last possession was telling Maddox to get all the way up, get extended. When you have height on a defender, it makes jump shots easy. You're not going to have a hand in your face. The hand's going to be at your chest level. So get up, get a little bit higher, and make that shot.
Ball poked the basketball out and also hit it off of the player's leg. Clifton was looking for Wimberly in the corner. It's going to be turnover on Searcy. Sloppy basketball being played.
He threw that one to Braden Davis, but the problem is Braden's not in the game.
So Dunlap kicks it over to 4E over on the left. 4E gives it back to Dunlap. Wyckoff has it down below. He's looking to make a pass. Hills kick it over to Dunlap over on the left. Guarded by Maddox Ball. Johnson has it. Hills once again. Great movement, Johnson. Now he's going to drive on the inside. He hit the ball twice. They're going to call him with the double. So it'll be Searcy basketball.
Don't know if we're at a basketball game or a bakery right now because there's turnovers all over the place, and neither team, I mean, we have 4 points total scored in this quarter. A little bit of a complete opposite to the girls' game. Remember the third quarter, Jordan, they were going back and forth. That's when Chip got hot from 3 and was knocking down shots. Batesville got hot too. But so far in this third quarter of the boys' game, there has been very little scoring, very little pretty offense.
So Ball, give it to Wimberly on the inside. Here's King. He'll put up the floater. Quade King.
That's what Searcy wants to do. Get low, get inside. We've been harping on it all night, but it's because it's true. Searcy has the major height advantage in this game. You got to use it.
So Wimberly and 4E, the matchup up top. You have Ross checking it back to the game as well as Thomas. Thomas, mid-range, won't go. Rebounded by Quade King. Coach is calling for the play. Goodman driving on the inside. Some move. Clifton wanted it, won't have it. Maddox Ball has it. He's going to be fouled as he tries to drive in the inside.
They're not letting Clifton get open. They are face guarding him, not even letting him get a dribble handoff there where he'd be tightly guarded because they know he can get a shot off from anywhere.
Wimberly and Thomas fighting for it. Thomas comes away. He's going to step out of bounds. Searcy catches a break.
They got bailed out that time because it was a 2-on-none that time, and even if first guy misses a layup, we would have had a trail guy there, so Searcy caught a break there. It's got to be more efficient with your passes. Can't throw any lazy passes. These guys got to have some mustard, some zip on them. Make sure they don't get stolen away.
So Goodman has the basketball. Kick it over to Wimberly. The King down below. King just a little too much power there on the layup.
It's when you got to convert on when they give you the opportunity. And the foul 90 feet from the basket. That's why Coach Aaron's so upset. 3 guys on him. Rather than be getting back than trying to steal the basketball in the backcourt like that.
They're going to call it on King. King has his second. I thought they would have called it on Goodman. Goodman has no foul so far. I thought he had an arm on him. Nonetheless, Searcy still leading 29-21. 2:22 to go. Thomas for 3 left corner. Finds it.
He was giving him trouble in the first quarter. Didn't let him get hot either.
Rafa Thomas, the 3-point shot there for Batesville to cut Searcy's lead down to 5. Goodman with the basketball rolling around. Clifton just can't play a basketball game. Gonna call it jump ball. Ross and Wimberly. Clifton just got to find a way to get into this ball game. I understand you're being face guard. He's going to follow you everywhere. Got to get him frustrated. Maybe get a defensive foul called so you can have it. Quade can get the ball. Quade's kind of wide open. Clifton for 2, won't go. Goodman on the rebound, lost it, looking to recover. Goodman was fighting for it, but he was out of bounds while he was, so it's going to be Batesville basketball.
Could tell Jalen initially wanted to take that three, but Batesville did a good job to get in front of him, make sure it wouldn't be an easy look. Took a pretty open mid-range jumper, just still couldn't knock it down. And Jordan, we're almost at the end of 3 quarters. Jalen Clifton still isn't on the board. Not the most pressing issue in the world because you're still up by 5, but we'd like for him to get going sooner rather than later.
You can only hold a lead for so long. As 4E driving on the inside, kick it over to Ross. Ross bumped into Quaid. They call a foul. They will call the charge. Quaid King with the charge. Going to be called on Ross. Ross picks up his first foul.
Give Quaid a star on the Walk of Fame in Hollywood because that was an excellent acting job. He might have been bumped into harder, but 6'7" against, I'm not sure the height of the player that went into him, but I feel like Quaid sold that one a little bit, but he did a good job, drew the foul, and Searcy basketball.
That's Quaid's special right there. Clifton has it, poked out.
They are not giving Jalen Clifton not even an inch, a centimeter, millimeter. They're not giving him anything right now, any space.
Lawson Wimberly with the bucket, fakes the 3, driving on the inside, that left side, Lawson Wimberly. We know we can do that. We've seen it at the Bank Classic, how much of an impact he was to help Searcy go 3-0. So Clifton and Wimberly up top. Ooh, 4E got around him, but still got a foul. So Wimberly picks up his second. We're going to see Marion Hunt checking into the basketball game for Wimberly.
Last drive, really good job by Wimberly. He's so quick, he gets a step on it and he's gone in a flash. Flew around the Batesville defense that time, got inside, made the easy layup for his first points.
So Hills with the basketball, kick it back out to 4E up top, guarded by Hunt. Nice defense from Hunt. Thomas rolling around, just barely missed the layup. Goodman has it. He's going to be fouled from behind as Ross tried to poke the ball out.
Batesville coach over there can't believe a player would commit a foul again, just that far away from the basket. It's not a foul you can afford to commit in a game like this.
So Thomas picks up his second. We're under a minute to play, and that was Batesville's 5th foul. So Searcy will be in the bonus for the remainder of this quarter. You're going to see Marion Hunt at the line to shoot. Well, no, they're going to say Goodman's going to go to the line.
All the scoring tonight, or not all the scoring literally, but close to it, has been from Searcy's forwards tonight. Wimberly just got on the board. Clifton's still not on the board. Marion's still not on the board. It's been Ball and King, Goodman, Whittington. Trittenhart knocked down a 3, but only 5 points from Searcy's guard so far.
So Goodman misses the first, but finds the second. Under a minute to play, 32-24, Searcy leads. Johnson puts up the shot, count the basket. He'll go to the line. 3-point play opportunity rolling off of Quaid King. Surprised Quaid didn't try to sell that one there.
Batesville needed that shot, though. I mean, they hadn't scored in quite a while. Their offense had gone cold, only scored 5 points in the quarter to that point. But knocked that one down there. It's a 6-point game at half. It's a 6-point game now. Not much movement.
Hit off of Thomas's head as Ball tried to get it to rebound. It's going to be Searcy basketball.
Dunlap face guarding Clifton, not going to give him anything. Want to see if maybe we could get Quaid on the screen for him, pop Jalen out, give him an open look from 3.
Marion looking to give it to Quaid on the inside. Quaid
Doubled
had
him.
the ball stolen from him. Here's Thomas in transition. 4E all alone. Won't find the layup. Rebounded by Goodman. Goodman with the basketball. Shot clock's off.
That was a beautiful sequence in transition, except for the fact that Batesville didn't finish the layup.
Hit off of Johnson's leg, hit out of bounds. Going to stay here, 22.1 to go here in the third quarter. So here's Hunt with the basketball. Goodman has it. Give it back out to Hunt. Hunt to Clifton.
Right here, Coach Aaron across the way. Wondering where that pass was going to, and Clifton had a man all over him in his face.
It was blocked by Clifton. Hills for 3. That's going to do it for the third.
Hit the scoreboard.
So after 3, Searcy still leads 32-29. But now Batesville with that 3-point shot from Hills, cutting it back down to 3. We're going to have another close game down to the wire as we head into the fourth quarter. Coach Herron visibly upset with Marion, not really wanting that play to be ran He tried to give it to Clifton, but Clifton, he's been face guarded all game. Not really a reason to give it to him now if he's still being face guarded. You got to go the other way with the basketball.
Yeah, that whole sequence was a killer, and it would have been even if Batesville didn't make the three-point shot, but they make that. Their crown's back into the game. It's a one-possession game now. You can't give teams like that an easy look on offense when they've been struggling, because that's medicine to them. You know, it's ibuprofen, it's Tylenol, whatever. You know, it is. It's a breath of fresh air for them, because now they know, okay, you know, we can score. Went through a drought, but we know we can knock down shots.
You're right, Samuel. We talked about the height mismatch throughout this whole game, but Batesville's heart, right now, they're looking like they're wanting it more than Searcy. There's nothing else that can be said about that. Kalen Johnson has really been a big impact for this Batesville team, driving inside, making those tough shots, having a couple baskets going to the line for three-point play opportunities. So this Batesville's team, it's going to be quite the story here in this fourth quarter to see if they can try to come back being down throughout most of this game, if not all of this game. If you're Searcy, where's Quade King? Quade King had a couple of shots there in the third. Not that much big of an impact. Where you saw him and Maddox Ball earlier in that first quarter putting up shots back and forth. They were going down too. Haven't really seen much of them both since. Jalen Clifton probably going to assume that he's going to be out this ball game completely if he's going to be face guarded on every offensive possession.
Great teams have second options as a scorer. Oh,
blocked by King once again.
Second time that Batesville's tried to go inside like that on Quade. I don't know how many blocks he has tonight, but a little early in the year for a block party.
So King tried to go up, and he'll be fouled, and he'll go to the line.
Excellent sequence there from Quade King, getting back in transition on offense and getting a chance to go to the line. He has 9. He hits one of these free throws, he'll be in double figures. Searcy's forwards tonight doing the heavy lifting on offense.
King misses the first. Searcy missing a lot of their free throws tonight. You cannot do that with this close in the game. Talked about it with the girls when Kilton against Marion with those free throws. King finds the second. No shot.
Lane violation on.
Lane violation on Goodman. The basket's not going to count. It's going to be Batesville's basketball.
That's the quickest way to get pulled out of a game or yelled at. I did that once and got pulled immediately. So lane violation's never good when they wipe out a free throw like that.
So three-point game once again. Batesville trailing. Dunlap on the inside. Won't find it.
Hey, credit to Batesville. They're not scared of Searcy's height. They're still driving in there. They're just not getting anything. They're being too wild, too spastic in how they drive.
They're going to call a travel, I believe, on Clifton as he tried to get it to King. King would have hit the three, too.
Coach Aaron looking around wondering what the call was.
So here's 4E. Hart, Clifton up top. Dunlap, I thought he might have walked there, but here's Thomas rolling around. Hills for another three. Hills won't find it that time. Clifton just boxing out, not even going to go up.
That ball took so long to come down, you couldn't even jump for it because by the time you did, it'd already be on the floor. Could have been an open look for Trenton. He knocked down one earlier.
Trent Hart for three, got it.
Great shot. I think that might be his first shot attempt since he made that first one, but when you give it to him, he's going to make the most of his opportunities. We talked to him after he hit some clutch free throws earlier in the year, Jordan. He said, I'm a senior, I waited, I bided my time on the bench, I'm ready to make an impact. He's doing that tonight.
Thomas on the inside, Hills. Wasn't quite the best pass for a three, but here's Dunlap.
They're going to try to get Hillis some open looks. He's open at the top of the key, wide open if they want him. Quade blocked another one.
So they're going to call another foul on Trent Hart. Trent Hart playing some amazing defense. I understand his frustration on those fouls. Hart does have three now.
He's a glue guy. He plays so hard on the defensive end, contributes on the offensive end when he gets a look. But he plays so hard on the defensive end.
Lost the ball, 4E, rebounded by King, or King came up with it.
That was great defense. Quade and Trenton both, but especially Quade, staying straight up, not falling for a ball fake or a shot fake, just staying straight up, and he basically just handed the ball to Quade, said, here, have a nice night.
So Clifton is going to let them play 4-on-4 basketball. Ball had some contact, lost it.
Yeah, maybe could have called a jump. Quade, or Maddox was looking for a foul. Weird sequence there. Nobody really got off the ground.
Clifton's going to stay in the backcourt the whole time. They're really creating some pressure to make sure Clifton cannot get any play started at all or even get a shot attempt up. 35-29, 6 minutes to play here in the game. Here's 4E with the basketball. Dunlap setting the screen on his left. Not going to take it. Hart guarding 4E. Here's Clifton guarding Dunlap. Rolling around is Thomas. Poked out by Ball. Clifton all alone. Clifton, no foul. He's going up. Nothing called. Dunlap with the basketball. Coach Heron has to calm down for a tech gets called. Here's 4E for three. Won't find it. Rebounded by Quade King.
Well, the Batesville side of the building would crumbled if Thomas before he hit that three, but that was a great play by Thomas to get back into play. You know, I think maybe there was some contact there. No harm, no foul, though. All in all, Searcy still leads by 6, but at some point, Jalen Clifton has to get going. I'm getting nervous.
So King won't find it. Maddox Ball on the putback will.
Maddox with 12. I believe he at least leads Searcy's scores, if not all scores, in this game. Searcy's forwards have picked up the slack on the offensive end tonight.
They want it to be tipped out, but the ref's not going to call. They didn't see it. But Batesville, you can tell that they want that. So Searcy gets another possession off of the mistake from Batesville.
Sorry, go ahead, Jordan.
Oh, you're fine. It's just going to say it's been a really physical game all game long. This fourth quarter is really showing that.
Searcy's offense hasn't been very good in this fourth quarter, but it hasn't needed to be because they played such good defense.
King fouled at the three-point line. He'll go to the line for a triple play opportunity.
Props to 4E for just getting his hand all the way up there to deflect that shot. That's quite an accomplishment on its own. Quade can get this to, 11-point lead, get himself to 13 points.
It's to be having some clock issues, it seems, but they got it right. Here's Quade looking for his first. Won't find it. Searcy all night just struggling from the free throw line. He went in, so even if he didn't make it, they were probably going to call that lane violation. King looking to go 2 for 3. He will. So here's Thomas with the basketball. Ross, sorry. Rolling around now is Hills. Hills with the floater. Won't go. Rebounded by King.
Feeling really good right now if you're Searcy. I don't think you have to score the rest of this game as well as you're playing on defense, but of course you want to.
Ball with the layup. Maddox Ball being an indestructible force all game long. Timeout Batesville.
Maddox Ball and Quade King had 26 combined points. Forwards have stepped up tonight, and that might be the dagger as well as Searcy's playing on defense.
So Searcy heading into the timeout. Maddox Ball, he's been on fire. He's been a little quiet, but he's quietly been that force. If you get him the ball, he's going to create those opportunities. For Searcy, he's been doing that all night long since the tip-off. Got the game started with a quick 2 as well. So nice job from Maddox Ball to make sure. We got a camera on the student section. They're going to write a message. We're going to cut it off before they write anything that we don't want to see.
Very smart, director.
So 4:33 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Searcy leads 41-29. Nice job, nice sequence from Searcy. Really nice job. I will give him credit on those sloppy turnovers back and forth. Nobody's scoring. Players flying all over the floor. Quade King, Maddox Ball, they're getting those rebounds to make sure that things are getting under control. Clifton, he's going to play in the backcourt probably for the remainder if they're going to continue to face guard him like that. The good thing is Coach Heron has plays for this 4-on-4 situation. So Searcy using that to their advantage. Right now, Maddox Ball really the main reason why they have this lead, as long with Quade King.
Maddox was our first player of the game interview that we did after Searcy boys win this year here at home at Lion Arena. And he can score. He does it quietly. You know, he goes about his game in a quiet fashion, but at the end of the night, you look at the box score and the final score, and he's the one making a big impact.
So here's Thomas up top. Hills rolling around now to his left. Ooh, almost lost the basketball. Here's Dunlap.
They're going to need Hills to get open looks.
Thomas for 3. Got it. 41-32.
This game ain't over yet, Jordan. Searcy's got to keep in mind, you know, as well as they played on defense all night, like Searcy, Batesville has guys that if they get hot, they can score in a hurry, hit threes in a hurry.
Ball on the inside. He'll put up a mid-range, and it'll go in. Maddox Ball.
It's huge. If Batesville punches, Searcy's got to punch back, get up off the mat. Maddox Ball with 16 points.
Searcy extends it to 11. Thomas with the basketball. Kick it out to Dunlap. Here's Thomas again. Rolling around. Blocked by King once again. Quade King. Maddox Ball with the rebound. Gonna force Ball to take a dribble up court. You have Goodman over to his left. Maddox Ball, give it to King. King with the layup, won't get it, just barely didn't have control of the basketball. Thomas in transition now. Goodman, they're gonna call a block. Goodman was looking to take a charge.
Quade King's been everywhere tonight. Offense, defense, doesn't matter where.
So count the basket, I believe he made it. So Thomas will be at the line to shoot one for the Pioneers.
I think even if he didn't make it, it might have been a goaltend on Quade. I think he got that ball as it was on the backboard.
Will they call a push-off? I think they will call a push-off. So they will call it a push-off on Johnson. He picks up his second.
3:19 to go. Like the girls, Jordan, talk about that magic number. What's the magic number Searcy has to get to that Batesville can't in the time remaining? It might be 45. It might be 2 more free throws, 1 more basket that you need. I just haven't seen enough from Batesville's offense in the second half to suggest to me that they can make a run like they have to make in order to win this game.
Quade King playing physical basketball. He'll find the mid-range.
Quade with 14 now. He and Maddox have run this offense tonight. Might not think of them as the facilitators on this offense, but they have been this evening.
Going to call a foul on Clifton. So Clifton picks up his first. 2:49 to play, 45-34. So Ball hit it off of the player's foot, hit it off of Thomas. It's going to be Searcy basketball. Nice job from Maddox Ball.
It's been that kind of night for Batesville in the second half at least. First half they were sticking with Searcy, and I thought this was going to be a game that would be decided on the final couple of possessions. Now it looks like Searcy, if they can just get a few more baskets, hit a few free throws, they'll turn out the lights on the Pioneers.
So Clifton will be fouled by Dunlap.
One more foul and Searcy will be in the bonus. What happened there, but Coach Aaron awfully animated.
So I believe Hart was in the wrong position there. He created some pressure on the inside. He's not letting the man breathe to get along to try to get back to Clifton. Dunlap was guarding him. Batesville's going to call another timeout. But on those out-of-bounds plays, in these critical situations, now you just gave yourself another foul that you really didn't have to commit at all. Both teams with 14 fouls. Next foul, we're going to the line for the rest of the game.
Yep. That's big. Searcy's just got to hit the free throws. Hit your free throws. Again, I don't think Batesville can win this game unless you help them out. You got to, unless Searcy misses all their free throws, they just give them free looks. That's the biggest thing. You can't have a defensive breakdown. Even if you give them a bucket, make them work for it. Make them take 20, 30, all 35 seconds off that shot clock. The clock is your friend. And the way they play defense tonight, your defense is your friend because Batesville is just totally confused right now. They've only scored 15 points in the second half.
Talked about the magic number, Samuels. Either way, Searcy, they're getting closer and closer to that point. So the student section talking to us. They've been verbal all night about the calls, the other student section, how they feel about Quade getting blocks every single time the man goes up.
Good sign is our student section standing up, their student section sitting down.
That's exactly what you want to see as we come back in after the timeout. Here's Dunlap, wanted to go on the inside. Johnson rolls around, floater, won't go. Ball's going to poke it out. He's going to run for the rebound. Maddox Ball. Ooh, Johnson got a hand on it. Nice job from Maddox Ball. He's going to take that foul, and he'll also take it to the free throw line to shoot 2, as now Searcy's going to be in the bonus for the rest of this game. 2:15 to play.
Down on that end, Johnson learned from previous times and he'd been blocked by King. He'd been swatted by Quade 3 or 4 times tonight. Went up and under, tried to stop, pop, and get Quade off his feet. His shot wasn't blocked, but he couldn't finish it. He had the opportunity he wanted. He just couldn't execute. Maddox with 16 points tonight. His best performance, at least here, in a long time. You'd love to see that from a guy like him. Goes about his game quietly, but when he shows up, he makes it known.
So Ball finds the first. Ball won't find it. Got his own rebound. 4v1, he finds it. Will they call a charge? Oh, they will call a charge. Good effort from Balls.
Coach Aaron probably wanted Maddox pull that ball back out, run a little bit more clock, get it to one of your guards. You would have mentioned, though, Jordan, Jalen Clifton, hasn't scored yet tonight. Who knows if he will, but it's a sign of a good team when your best player can go scoreless this deep into a game and you're still up by 12.
So Hills missed the 3, but Thomas on the putback.
Batesville not putting any pressure in the backcourt. 2 minutes left, you're down by 10. Not time to abandon ship and abandon hope yet. I'm surprised they're not putting any pressure on.
Oh, 10 seconds. They're going to call a 10-second violation on Clifton. Took too long to get up court.
Shot clock is at 24 there. That's the telltale sign. Coach Aaron saying, how can he do that? Got to be a little more aware there, a little more disciplined.
Mental mistakes been killing Searcy all game long. Don't let it kill you now. Thomas driving on the inside. Kick it out to Hills. Hills to Dunlap. Dunlap, step back 3. Dunlap, got it.
That's a big shot. If he missed that, though, I was going to say, Thomas he's a little scared of Quaid down there. He's afraid to go up and try to put up a layup because he knows it's either going to get swatted or it's going to be hard contact. They're forcing Batesville to, instead of taking layups, to take tough threes. They converted that time, and Jordan, we got ourselves a ball game.
Oh yeah, for sure. Cut that down to 7. So Coach Aaron calls a full timeout. Want to take all the time he can to explain to his players, hey, this is what we're going to do when we get the ball back. And Searcy, now you got to score it. Now the magic is nowhere near there at all. So forget the magic, forget the fouls. Both teams are in the bonus now for the rest of the game for sure. Does Searcy want to attack the paint? That is an option for sure. You have Quaid King, you have that size. So if you want somebody to attack the paint, Quaid King's been verbal all night long, along with Maddox Ball as well. Had an and one there. Quaid King had a 3-point play opportunity as he took the 3 from the 3-point line. So Searcy, you have a lot of options. Is Jalen Clifton one of them? Maybe to get the ball, but maybe to get some shots up, maybe some offensive plays started. I don't know. Maybe you want to take him out and focus on that 4v4 basketball that they were doing earlier whenever Clifton was face guarded. So it's going to be really interesting to see what Searcy does out of this timeout.
If there was a minute 25 left, I suggest they try to, again, get him off a screen for an open 3 and an open jumper, something like that. With a minute 25 left, yeah, I'd rather see him get it in the backcourt, hold the ball. I mean, dude, they can get this down to, 50 seconds with a 35-second shot clock, even less after a rebound. That might not happen, but that's what they can do if they choose to do that. So maybe let Jalen, somebody dribble at the top of the key and run a pick and roll, something at the very least if you can't score. You want to run time off the clock, which is your best friend.
So it's inbounded to Jalen Clifton. Searcy has 3 possessions they can work with still. You're up by that much. King driving on the inside. Turn around. Fade away. Won't find it. Rebounded by Ross.
Thought they might have gotten Quaid's wrist that time. No call.
Driving on the inside. Oh, stolen away from Trent Hart. Fighting for the basketball. Call a timeout to save the possession.
That's a great job by Trenton Hart, and that's a great job by Coach Aaron. We were talking about earlier, Trenton Hart, he's a glue guy. He's gritty on the defensive end. He's willing to get on the floor. Those are the kinds of plays that win you basketball games.
So nice job there saving the possession. Now you have more time to burn some clock. 3-possession game. So Searcy going to draw up, see how they're going to get the ball inbounds. I'm sure Batesville. Now it's crunch time. Now you want to apply some pressure for sure if you want to come back and win this ball game. Thomas, Kalen Johnson all night long for this Batesville squad has been showing some heart. It's been working in their favor, but Searcy, they have more heart. They wanted more. Quaid King wanted it more. Maddox Ball wanted more. You saw there right before the timeout was called, Trent Hart diving for the basketball to save the possession in any way possible that he can. So Searcy, just like the girls game, the girls in the beginning of the year had a problem with closing out games. They had leads all the time, just weren't able to finish. The girls finished moments ago before this game, and now the boys, you just got to finish, pick up your first conference win.
I will say, Jordan, Searcy, and I don't say this in a negative way, but they're almost playing like a team that's desperate, playing like a team with everything to gain and nothing to lose, because when you're at a point, when you're winless in a conference season, you just need that one win to get off the schneid and get some momentum back going. These are the types of performances you get. And a great job of handling that pressure all night. It's an awfully quick foul.
Quick foul on Goodman. Saw Quaid King running a route there, it looks like, just try to get the ball down court. But with a minute 04, it'll be Jeremiah Goodman going to the free throw line to shoot. Hasn't been quite hopeful from the free throw line tonight, but looking to change it.
Awfully quick, though, for Batesville. I would have thought they would at least try to get a steal there rather than just going for the foul right away.
So Goodman finds the first, and he goes 2 for 2.
That magic number we've been talking about all night, Jordan, it might be 50. If you can get to 50 points, I just don't know that Batesville can get there with a minute left.
So Dunlap to Johnson. Johnson pushing off Goodman.
Johnson had an open three, he didn't take it.
Thomas, he'll take a three. Won't go. Rebounded by King.
That should be a dagger. And I mean, yeah, they're here. They weren't going to play up. They're still not going to play up. Batesville's just conceded the basketball game by not putting pressure. 40 seconds left. They can take the clock down to 13. This game's over.
So Clifton will hold it in the backcourt, and that's going to do it. Batesville concedes. Strong ball game all night long. It was looking scary for the Lions in that first quarter whenever Batesville had that lead. But Clifton, you got to run a play. Give it to King on the inside. We're going to call a charge.
Doing a say, I know we still got 18 seconds of basketball left, Jordan, but congrats to Coach Herron, this whole Lions team on this victory. One you needed just so badly. Just get one, that you can go on a winning streak and try to save your season.
So it rolls in. You got to get the ball in bounds. That's really all you got to do. You have a 10-second that you can use there, and that's going to do it. Searcy wins their first conference game of this season, 48-41. An amazing game for both teams. We go 2-0 on the night. The Lions playing their hearts out. We're going to get a player of the game here for you in just a moment. But it was looking scary. You had Hart with 3 fouls, King with 2, Wimberly with 2. Haven't seen him back in the second half. Clifton unable to play the basketball game, being face guarded all night long, but it doesn't matter because in the end, Searcy pulls off the win to go 8-10, 1-5 in conference. And if you're Searcy, you just got to win out, and this is an excellent momentum starter. So let's go ahead and send it over to Samuel Stubbs with our player of the game. Go ahead, Samuel.
Nick, 17 points for you tonight. You and Quaid really ran this offense tonight. Was that the plan all week to try to get you with that height advantage in the paint?
That was the plan. We have a advantage in that, and we just try to assert the advantages.
On defense, seemed like they're almost scared to drive in. You and Quaid blocking shots all over the place. What did you feel like you were doing on defense to make them take difficult shots?
Just staying in front of them, guarding our gaps, helping, getting steals.
Mattis, congrats on the win. Gordon.
Thank you, Samuel, and that's going to do it. What an excellent Friday to end on here in Lion Arena. Both teams going 2-0. The boys win 48-41. The girls win 50-43. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. We'll see you back here. Not sure who the next conference game is going to be, but it will be coming up soon for sure. So that's going to do it. Once again, if boys win 48-41 to move on to 8-10 overall, 1-5 in conference. You've been watching Searcy Lion basketball here on Lion TV. Have a great weekend.